Hey there, Liz from Hook's Greenhouse, and I am here in the back growing houses, getting ready to pull up some beautiful color from Proven Winner. All these plants we grew ourselves, but they are exclusively a Proven Winner plant. This is kind of our Proven Winner row. I put on a cart here all this stuff that's going to be up for the weekend, and these are some of the newbies from Proven Winner. And they're some of our favorites, some that we grew last year and became our favorites. But these are some of the things that you can see this weekend that we'll have up front so that you know what's blooming and you know what to dig into for the weekend. Right here I have some red petunias. They have been going pretty fast. They're beautiful. They're great for hummingbirds. A lot of people have been picking these up for the 250-year anniversary of the signing of the Declaration, so lots of people are doing red, white, and blue planters this year. This is a great one here. Some people have even been doing latte because it's kind of a neat, unusual white that mixes well with that, and then even pairing it with some kind of blue, either a petunia or some blue lobelia, which I didn't put on this cart, but we do have lots of. So those petunias are great. Latte is great on its own. It's always been a real popular one. Mixes well with lots of plants. Some million bells on here. Pink is always a great one for that bright color. New plant this year is from Proven Winner is the double grapefruit. Gorgeous. It's a double color, kind of like a light pink with a little bit of like an orangey color with it. It's been growing really well. Lots of our baskets are gorgeous with just this alone. It mixes really well. It's great for your little planters. Holy Smokes is one I haven't had in a while. It's got a neat variegation with that purpley color and then the yellow throat. I have a new one here. This is that Sweet Caroline, Sweetheart, Shadow Storm. I'll actually pull it out so you could see it. This is a sweet potato vine. I've never seen one that has this kind of variegation. That any of those Sweet Carolines are pretty good to mix in. They don't usually take over the whole pot. So great for mixing in. Great as just a basket by itself. Another really sweet foliage plant is this licorice. It's called, this is called Licorice Splash. So the variegation's kind of different in each one, but really sweet little variegation. This is good in partial shade or full sun. And another sweet potato, this is a new one. This is Medusa Black, so it has a very deep cut leaf. I'll pull that tag out so you can see maybe. But good for partial sun, good for full sun. It's a great to mix it in. This is really sweet as a hanging basket or a fern replacement. It's a little dark, but it does have this brand, when it gets new growth, it has a green color. So once it's in a basket, there's lots of green and black. Superbena is always great. This is a nice bright pink color, great for mixing in. You can see it kind of looks good wherever you put it, even with red. It's funny how things can change and look decent next to it. And latte looks good with everything. But this is a verbena, great for hummingbirds. It trails real nice. It's great at mixing in. This one is one you have to deadhead, so if you don't like to deadhead, I'd steer clear of verbena. Great one though. We've got some beautiful coleus. This is ridiculous, so I really like that color. Coleus is great for partial sun or full sun. This one can be in the center of your planter. You can plant all your petunias and things around it. Get yourself some nice height with a coleus. This is another new one from Proven Winner. It kind of looks really dainty, but it's an Oenothera. This is a Super Lophus Sunglow. They had something like this a few years back. You can plant it in the ground. It'll get nice and full. It's a good one for butterflies. It's a good mix-in. The best part about it is it loves full sun, heavy heat. It doesn't need a lot of water. So this is great where you have problem areas where you just can't get to and you need something beautiful that blooms all season. Another one that's great for hummingbirds, this is not a proven winner, it's an old-fashioned one. This is a type of Kufia. It's called bat-face Kufia. So the hummingbirds feed from it, very similar to like Vermilion Air or Hummingbird's Lunch. But the difference is, if you can zoom in, we'll show you actually that there is, the end of it actually looks like a little bat face. So it has little ears and a little mouth, and it's super cute. So every time I bring up these trays they've been selling, I think I probably have 6 trays left of them. So make sure if you do want this that you come out this weekend and get it. Did I talk about the dahlia? This is great. I put this in my planters last year. This is a pinkerific. It has a bright pink, a really nice big flower. Great for the center of your plants. Great on its own. Just bloomed all year for me. I put it in a planter that I just really wanted some color, didn't really want to mess with, left it there on our patio, and just went by every so often and deadheaded it, and it bloomed all season long. So great dahlia. I think it gets kind of tall too, 15 to 18 inches tall, so not crazy tall, but good for a planter. So all these things are going to go up, and we're going to have this annual pots fully stocked. Everybody's been hitting that pretty hard, so sometimes it's hard for us to stock it all up. But if any of these things you like and you need help with, we can always go back to the back in the growing houses, get them for you, and bring them up. So just ask one of our staff. So we're coming up to the front from the back greenhouses. We're bringing this up for the girls. And then we're just going to walk around. I'm going to show you some great things throughout the greenhouse. We got lots of metal yard art. We just unpacked that, have it hiding throughout the greenhouse. It's kind of like a hide and seek, a little bit all over. But we'll show you some of this fun stuff throughout the greenhouse. So Charlie brought up our bag display here. These are hanging bags. These are all $26.99. There's lots to choose from. There's some begonias, which are great for shady spaces. Some things that are great for sunny spaces. These ones you just water at the top. You water real thoroughly till it drips out the bottom. But these are looking great. They usually sell pretty quick. This one, I had a customer that she bought one last year, showed me some pictures of it. It was in full color the whole way through, big balls of multicolors. So this is a great one. I'm sure it's going to sell out quickly once people know we have them. Great for shade. Begonias don't like as much water, so that is nice in a hanging bag. But we have a whole display, and we'll keep stocking these up all weekend long. So if you're decorating your porch this weekend, which is a great thing to dig into, we have some great metal yard art. This is a cute little stand. It's a little, I don't know, ostrich maybe? And then you just can put your hanging basket right on there, fill them all up. We have lots of different sizes kind of, so you can do a couple. They look really cute together. We've got 2 here, but I'm just going to show you a couple highlights of some of this metal yard art that we just got in. We've got some cute skunks over here. They're here with our little dianthus bowls. These ones are $6.99. And then the skunks themselves, let's see what their price is. These guys are $37.99. So a nice size. They look super cute. Would be very cute on your porch. So we've got some cute little metal chickens here. And we have some oregano. Danielle made a great sign. We're always talking about what to feed your chickens. But oregano is great for them. It's just great for their immune system. It's great, especially when it's been rainy like this. They really, really should have some oregano. It'll help them kind of get through a cold. So we have that here. We have 4-inch pots of oregano over there in the herbs. Those are $5.99. So here we have this pink profusion salvia. This is a great one for your perennial gardens. It's a great for the back of the garden. These salvias have been blooming beautifully. I've got some blues, some pinks. This beautiful pink behind me, the Proven Winner one. There's lots of perennials that are blooming, lots of lilies. We'll go over and look at the lilies too. They're pretty budded up, and so it's always best if you want your a good selection to come get them now. Once they bloom, they sell out. So if you have a specific color of lilies, you're going to want to get them now. So these are all our Oriental and Asiatic lilies. These are great in your garden. We have shorter ones, we have taller ones. They are foolproof. You put them in the ground, they get nice and full. They will bloom just like the picture shows. I've got a few blooming over on the other side. I'll show you. As soon as they start cracking color, they sell pretty quickly. There's yellows, there's pinks. This one is super cool. It's called Tiny Shadow. It's got that black in the center and then kind of that pinky, peachy color. That's always a popular. Any of those black lilies are always super popular. We have some taller. These are Oriental lilies. That's kind of what you would see like more in a florist setting. So they are great, and they truly will look like that. So you can look like you are a master gardener if you have some of these Oriental lilies in your garden. So these are just starting to open. You can see this is another one with that darker. This is Tiny Ink. So great for the height. Let's see what its height is. We're at 14 to 16 inches tall, so really a nice height for a perennial. And then it's got those little stamens. We always know who's been smelling the lilies because this will actually get on their noses. So you can see some of that pollen gets all over people. Back in the day when I worked at a florist, you used to have to pull that off so that the brides didn't get it on their white dresses. We've got beautiful begonia hanging baskets. This is one of, if you heard Janet's video earlier in the year, this is illumination, so it trails over real nicely. Lots of beautiful color, great for shade. There's several different colors of illuminations. Those are proven winners, trailing begonias. We've got yellow, orange, I think some reds. I think maybe even this pink one is, unless this is funky pink. Nope, this is funky pink. So this is a great one if you kind of want to look at those flowers. They're just a nice big double flower. Great for porches, great for shade. I like to see these like hanging underneath a tree, somewhere where when these flowers drop, you're not aggravated at them dropping all over your porch. Some people don't mind. They sweep their porch every day and it doesn't matter because they like the color, but they are kind of messy. We've got Santa Cruz, which is a bright orange color. This is kind of a doubly. Well, it's a big double, but it's got like a yellower center with that pink, darker pink orange color around the edge. Let's see what that one is. Another illumination, Golden Picote. It's super pretty. And then Surefire begonias. That one will trail out real far. Very easy, not too much water. This is a dragon wing with a dark leaf. So great for sun, great for shade. Very versatile, very easy. They usually last clear until frost, still blooming just like that. That's a nice red color. Another easy one. Danielle's making lots of planters. Look at her go. She's got herb planters. These are all ready. They should be ready for the weekend. These will probably be ready for Mother's Day. These are hummingbird ones. So lots of fun hummingbird plants in there. Sure to bring them to your yard. So they need a little bit of time to grow up. Oh, and she's doing this beautiful butterfly one. That turned out sweet. It did. Yeah, we've got heliotrope in there, some alyssum, and then rue. Rue's great. We have this over in the herbs too. This is a host plant for swallowtails. So we always try to put some kind of plants in there that attract them, that they can feed from, and then also that they can have their little eggs and caterpillars on. We mix these up throughout the season. Sometimes they're for monarchs, sometimes they're for swallowtails, any kind of butterfly. The clematis has been in full bloom, but it's beautiful. We have pinks and blues. We do have a fall blooming one down there. We even have the Stand By Me, which is more of a shrub clematis. We have, this one is the Viva Polona. That one is just a giant, a pretty large flowering pink one. The Proven Winner clematis, it's such nice varieties. They really do bloom consistently with not much maintenance. You don't have to worry too much about cutting things back. Clematis is always good with full sun, but they do like shady roots. So if you have a place where you can kind of tuck it behind a shrub, let it grow up in full sun, that's the best place for it. But we have this maroon color one. This is the summer one. So this one here, it's called Sweet Summer Love. It blooms more in the later season. Highly fragrant. Yep, they're just saying summer, but it's more of a late blooming clematis. If you have a nice arbor, you can always put one on one side, one on the other, get your spring blooms and your fall blooms on the other side, and then you can have some consistent color on your arbor. Pink mink is like a pinky one with a stripe. And then this here is that Happy Jack, which is a version of Jacami, which is that old traditional clematis. It just has a little bit bigger of a flower. So Charlie brought up some beautiful giant hanging baskets. These are the big giant guys. They're twice the size of our 12-inch hanging basket. These ones are $54.99. The nice part about these is they're super easy to care for. With having that bigger pot, they don't dry out as quickly. They'll get nice and big, real full. This one's a great one here. This is a hummingbird specific giant hanging basket with vermilion air and all the different red things. We've got some straight whites, some red, white, and blues, some orchids, orchid color one. This has been real popular. Some multicolors, lots of different multicolored ones here. This is a great gift for mom. We do sell out of these pretty quickly, so you might want to get them soon. We also have these beautiful, these are the red banana plants, and then we have some mandevilla that just came in. So there's lots of things that we showed you today that are blooming that would be great projects for the weekend. We have the Bag Lady tour this weekend. It's the last of the tour. That's Friday and Saturday. We will have Lassos and Latte here, and they'll have some great drinks. A lot of people have been picking up their Red Bull drinks. I hear that's real popular. Any of her coffee is great. She'll be here Saturday and Sunday with all those great drinks. Be sure to pick something up. You can wander around the greenhouse. I'm sure it's going to be a hop-in weekend. Not this weekend, but next weekend is Mother's Day. Mother's Day is our biggest weekend of the year, so if you want to beat the rush, come out now and do some of your shopping. We will be in full gear for this weekend, lots of friendly faces. All of our staff is ready to help, so just ask us any questions and we'll help you, and have a great weekend. Bye.